This video is going to review how to set up an assignment in Blackboard Ultra. The first thing that we are going to do is find the unit we want the assignment in this case, Unit 1. I am going to click on the unit to expand what's underneath it. Then I am going to decide where I want to put the assignment and look for the closest gray line. So for example, if I want it under learning materials, I'm going to look for the gray line here. It's going to turn purple. And once it turns purple, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to see my various options. In this case, because I'm creating an assignment from scratch, I'm going to click on Create. And then I am going to go down until underneath Assessment, I see Assignment. And I'm going to click on Assignment. The first thing I'm going to do is put in the assignment name, Assignment Unit 1, for example. And then I'm going to paste the instructions in for the assignment. Once I do that, I also want you to see how if you have an attachment for the assignment or an attachment with instructions, you can upload that by clicking on the paper clip and then clicking on the name of the attachment that you want, and then it's going to insert the file. It's going to have an option for view and download, and then I'm going to leave it on that and click save here so that it saves my changes. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is adjust my settings. Now overall, I'm not going to go through too many settings here for the sake of time, but it has it set as being due tomorrow. Now, obviously, we don't want that, so we're going to click on that and then start by adjusting our due date. Now, it's very important that this due date is accurate so that students know when this assignment's due, particularly if it's counting for attendance purposes. My suggestion would be to do it about a week after the start of the term. Although you have up to 2 weeks, this makes sure you have extra time to see who hasn't submitted it, make sure it's getting counted, all of that. So if the term, like for example, the spring semester starts on the 22nd, I would make my assignment due on the 29th. And then I would look at the time. By default, it's 11:59 p.m. If you want to adjust that, you can. Then the next piece that I'm just going to look at is grade category. So if you want it to count towards the assignment grade category, you leave that. Otherwise, you're going to change it to what category you want it to be in. It can be in just about any category that is listed. For attempts allowed, you can give it another attempt. For example, change that to 2. And we're going to grade it using the last attempt. You can choose whether you want to do points or percentage or letter or complete, incomplete. In this case, complete, incomplete gives a check mark. So let's say in this case that the assignment was more as a practice one or for attendance and a general review discussion, but you didn't really want it to count as that much. You just kind of wanted to acknowledge that they've completed it. You can use complete, incomplete. I changed the points to 10 points. So here I can make it 1 point, 10 points if I want. Even 0. Then if I am not using a rubric, I can have it post assessment of grades automatically. I still need to grade it, but what that means is the grade will automatically get posted. Otherwise, you have to do an additional step of posting it. When I am done with this, I will click Save. And now we can see that the settings are there. The last thing we want to do is make sure that it is visible to students. Any new item or assignment or discussion, etc., that is created on Blackboard Ultra by default goes to be hidden. So when you want to adjust that, you just click on this and go to visible to students to make sure that they can see this. And then when that is done, I can click on the blue X to close it and it will have saved my changes. I can see it's visible, I can see the name, and so on. I also want to double check that Unit 1 is visible to students, which it is. So the next step of what we need to do is click on Gradebook and start to set up our overall grade and make sure that this is where you want it to be. So if I click on set it up, I have an option of points or weighted or advanced. For the sake of this, let's just look at points, but it'll be very similar regardless of which one you choose. So let's say we have assignment. Within this assignment, this is the category. Within that category, any assignments we currently have will be listed there, and we can get to them by clicking on this drop-down arrow. So I can see assignment units 1 is here, it's 10 points. If I want it not to be counted, what we like to do is click on this no smoking sign here. And now it's going to say, okay, don't count that assignment. And then I can save it. And that is how you set an assignment up if you don't want it to be counted. If you wanted to count it, you just would unclick that. Not count, count. Okay? So that's really how we do that. When we're done, just to make sure we click save. So that is how you can set an assignment up to be used for attendance purposes.